understand how to become wealthy, because you cannot give what you don't have. So many times, or let me call it the journey to financial freedom, journey to wealth or journey to financial freedom. Many times, the challenge with people, like we have seen last year, is that they don't understand the purpose for wealth. So they have money without a mission. They have prosperity without a purpose. So we've dealt with that. So we now know that everything we have belongs to God. We now know that God is empowering us for the purpose of the kingdom. We now know that money is nothing but the tool for the fulfillment of purpose. But now there is a challenge. There are people that know that everything they have belongs to God. There are people that are actually willing to give. When God says give, they are ready to give, but they don't even have to give. If they have and they don't give, that would have been it, but now they don't even have. So this morning and tomorrow morning, and I want to take us on a journey and see how far we can go. If we're not able to finish, just get the book. I also want to look at the journey to financial freedom. How you as an individual, as a family, as an organization can move from point A to get into the place where you are now financially free, and where you are really coming to a place of wealth where whatever God requires or expects of you, you'll be able to produce. Do we understand that? Okay, so let's start from Proverbs chapter 4 and verse number 7. Proverbs 4:7. Proverbs 4:7 says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and in all your getting, get understanding. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and in all your getting, get understanding. The New Living Translation says, getting wisdom is the wisest thing you can do, and whatever else you do, develop good judgments. Another translation says, wisdom, getting wisdom is the most important thing that you can do, but along with your wisdom, develop common sense and good judgment. Psalm 66 verse 12. Psalm 66 verse 12 says, you have caused men to ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water, but you brought us out into a wealthy place. Now, God wants us to be wealthy. God wants us to have enough resources that we require to fulfill his assignment and his agenda for our lives. So as God's children, I believe that the church has already matured to a place where we know that poverty is not of God and God doesn't want us to be poor. But then, in order for us to journey into a place of abundance and journey into financial freedom, we need to begin by doing what we call personal diagnosis. You need to do a personal diagnosis to know exactly where you are as an individual. So when it comes to journey to financial freedom, there are 5 different sets of people on the wealth pyramid. There are 5 levels on the wealth pyramid. And whatever level you find yourself in, you need to identify that level so that you can navigate your way out of that level. So let's begin from the lowest level. Because you see, on the pyramid or the triangle of wealth, there are people that are at the bottom. And it's always bottom heavy. You know, the triangle, the bottom is the biggest size. That's where we have most people. So the first level, which is the lowest level on that journey, are people that are in what we call financial crisis. Financial crisis. And that is where majority of people operate. As a matter of fact, the United Nations defines living in poverty as living below $2 a day. And living in extreme poverty as living below $1 a day. Amazingly, about 70% of people on the continent live below $1 a day. So that means that when you look at the entire continent of Africa, and that is reflected in most of the nations in Africa, you find that about 70% of the population are in financial crisis. 70% of the population are living in poverty, lack, and hardship. So when you are in financial crisis, you don't have any source of income. Or your source of income is not even enough, that you have to live from hand to mouth and practically suffer all through life. When you are in financial crisis, it means that you lack everything that is required for a meaningful life. I hope you know that there are people that live under bridges. There are people that live in shanties all over the world, not only in Africa, all over the world. And these people, They live there. As a matter of fact, something amazing happened in our country just last month. There are people that have been living under a bridge in our country for years. So the government went to demolish the shanties under the bridge last month, and people were shocked that most of the people that were living there have been living there for over a decade, and that they actually pay rent every year. Yeah. That there are actually people that come to collect rent in a wooden shanty. There were lords that were lording it over people, even in that shanty, including law enforcement. But these people are also, when they say, are you alive? They will say they are alive. But that's the kind of life. So there are people that are in that realm where it's financial crisis, where every time you are talking about money, they don't even understand what they're talking about because they have not even eaten. They are in financial crisis. But let me tell you something. If you are in that level, just know that that is not the plan of God for your life. And the fact that you are there does not mean that's where you will end. There's something about this God. He has the ability to change the stories of people. The Bible says he raises the poor from the dust and the needy from the dunghill, and he set them among princes, even the princes of the earth. So I believe that there are many people that will come through this week, and by the time we are done with this week, you have an encounter with God, and God will change your story. So number one is what? Financial crisis. The second set of people at the next, there are people that are in what we call financial instability. Financial instability. They are not really in crisis, so these ones are gainfully employed. They have a regular source of income, but the take home does not take them home. They have a regular source of income, but the income is not enough. So they have a job. Every day they wake up, they go to work. So what do you do for a living? They have a job, they have a career, they go to work. And they have been gainfully employed. So every month they get an income. Every week they get an income. Some of them are business people. They have a business they are doing. And every day they go. You see a lot of these people, going through the city. You see a lot of people selling different stuff by the side of the road. Food, kelewele, wache, kenke, banku. There are people all over. There are people at the bus stop selling stuff to you when you are in your church row. They are selling. So they are employed. They have a job every day. They are making money, but they are poor. Why? Because they are in financial instability. So most of them, they probably get 5,000 Ghana cedis in a month or 3,000 Ghana cedis in a month, but their expenses is 17,000. So they are actually making money, they are working, but they have to now join one cooperative, collect money from here, borrow from here to pay this one and pay small. So they are not stable. And one of the amazing things about this group of people is that if one crisis or unexpected expenses comes into their life, they are back into crisis. And there are people that are working now, even the salary they will earn from now till December cannot pay the debt that they are already owing. But they are hardworking people. So these are the realities. So you need to now find out where you are, because the challenge I have with people is that if people are lying to you, don't lie to yourself. Self-deception is the highest level of deception. If you are deceived by people, you can be delivered from people's deception. But when you are deceiving yourself, it is called delusion. And when you are deluded, you end up in derision. That's madness. Hello? So don't lie to yourself. Because the problem is that we package too much. There's so much packaging. You don't know. You don't know that you don't know. You don't want to know. You don't have money. Nothing is working. And you are still proud and arrogant. You are not ready to learn. People that will help you, you are angry against them. How can you fight your destiny helper and find help? Hello? So those are the second set of people. Financial what? Instability. The third set of people are people that are in financial stability. And look, these ones, unfortunately, they are the ones that we celebrate. But to me, they are the most deceived set of people. You know why? I'll tell you. When people are in financial crisis, except they are deluded, they know they are in crisis and they are seeking for help. When people are in financial instability, except they are deceived and deluded, they know that things are not stable. They are seeking for help. But you see, those people in financial stability, they are very proud and arrogant and deluded. Why? These people have money. They are high net worth individuals. They are high flyers. They have cars. They are landlords. They have houses of their own. They travel abroad. Their children are in private schools. So they even have savings. They are the ones that you are celebrating. They are the ones you are trying to be like. But you know why they are the most dangerous set of people? Every money they are making is because they have a good job. The day they lose that job, 90 days later, they are poor. That's why it's very dangerous. Because these ones, they travel abroad. They are the ones that fly around the world. They have visas to every country. Their children are in private school. You go to their house, you see 3 cars. And they are landlord. They are not paying rent. They even have savings. And they are the big boys. They are the big girls in town. But it's because they are high net worth individuals. They are earning big money. Most of those flying around, it's not their money. Company is paying for it. They have official car. They have official house. They get special benefit. They get bonuses. They make good money. They know the big people. Sometimes they are doing birthday. Somebody can just give them 10,000 Ghana cedis to say happy birthday because of their position. Somebody can buy them shoes, buy them designer things. So, but the day they lose that job, have you noticed that when a politician stops being a politician, there is no more greeting in the newspaper? Hello? I hope you know that your former president did birthday. How many of you celebrated him? That the former president not who did birthday. Did you see any advert? No. It's when you are reigning that people will talk about you. So most of the people, they don't have plans for themselves. I've seen people that are high flyers and they lose their job and you see them packing out of the official residence in shame. You see them collecting the cars from them. And then some of them have even collected loan from the company, and then you now see them within 90 days. The man that is always looking fine, well shaven, with smelling nice, you now see him, he looks like an old man. And you're like, what happened? He has lost his job. And most of them, they are not able to recover because the shock, because they have been in that business, maybe they have been there, high flyer, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 27 years. So by the time they now come out, they realize that they are no more in touch with reality. And they cannot start afresh again because they have become big boys. Their appetite is big. And they find themselves in financial instability. And it is at those times in life you begin to realize that many of your relationships are transactional. You begin to realize that people don't really love you. They love what you do. You begin to realize that all the friends you have, they were fair weather friends. Because most of them, the big guys that they used to meet together in golf club, meet together in the club, will no more pick their calls. Why? Because there is nothing you have to offer me. The position that made me to be close to you, somebody else is occupying the position. I need to service the next person, and they are gone. So if you are here today now, I'm trying to help you to understand how to move to a level where you will not be a victim. Because like I said to you last year, God is your source. You remember? God is your source. Every other thing is a resource. The very minute you lose sight of that, there will be trouble. Because the definition I gave you last year is the software that runs kingdom people. Kingdom wealth is a wealth that has its source in God and the kingdom as its purpose. That's it. That should be your software. Anything I'm doing, oh, God is my source. Oh, the kingdom. It's all about the kingdom. It's all about the kingdom. So, number 1 is what? Financial crisis. Number 2, financial instability. Number 3, financial stability. Number 4, financial independence. And that's the realm that we should begin to work on and begin to flow in. Financial independence. Now, what do we mean by this? Note what I said about financial stability. The major deficiency is the fact that everything they have is based on the fact that they have a good source of income. And that source of income depends on them being available. And the very minute that source of income is jeopardized, they are in crisis. But now when you get to financial independence is level in your life where the income, please note down, you see that today I'm very slow this morning. I'm just taking, because if you get it, I'm building to get us to, once you understand this thing, it's like ABC software. Once it's there. Now, when you get to financial independence, it's a level where the income from your assets and your investments. So note those two words now. The income from your assets and your investment, not income from your labor. Because that's the problem with financial stability. You are making money with your own labor. You have to go to work. If you don't go to work, no income. If they sack you, no more income. But when you get to financial independence, we are saying that the income from your assets and your investments is enough to take care of all your needs and still have extra. So what does that mean? Now, if you are working now, and because you're a big boy, you earn 50,000 Ghana cedis a month. You are big. So every year you are doing over 500,000 Ghana cedis. And everybody's celebrating you. Oh, he's the chief, he's the country manager of this, he's the general manager of this, he's the kinecon of that, he's the CEO of that. And that's what you are earning. You are earning big. And because of that, you have a house, you've got cars, you're traveling. Now, the day you lose that job, that's 500,000, 600,000 will not come anymore. So it means that whatever you have saved is what you are now left with. And you now start looking for another job, or you start thinking about to start a business. But what we are now saying is that when you become financially free, it means that you have investments. So it's not that you are working. You probably have properties where the rents that people pay in your property is over 1 million Ghana cedi every year. You have assets that are producing money. You have investments. Imagine now that you have 200 taxis. 200 taxis that are out there every day working for you. 200. And you are getting income every day without you having to do anything. The money is just flowing in. Imagine that you have 18,000 flats or 18,000 rooms all over being used for shortlets. Imagine that you have gold. Imagine that you have stocks in 16 multinationals all over the world. And every year you are doing between 5 to 10 million Ghana cedis just as income from your assets and investments. You can go on holiday for 6 months and you are still rich. That's financial independence. So all your labors, all your workings should be to move into that dimension. So when you are making money, you are supposed to be acquiring assets. When you are making money, you are supposed to be investing. So that when you get to a point where you cannot labor hard, then the money begins to flow from that angle. Do we understand that now? By the time we complete the morning and evening, everything will come together and then you'll be able to begin to manifest. Amen. Then tomorrow night we'll pray. You know, like we end with the supernatural tomorrow night. Because after we have taken note, we now receive grace to go forth and produce results. Then God will now add favor to your labor. And boom, you begin to wonder, what's that? No, a little will become 1,000. And people begin to wonder, what's happening? It's because the supernatural is at work. So do you understand that now? So that's 4th level. Then the final level is financial freedom. Now the difference between financial independence and financial freedom is, when you have financial independence, all the income from your assets and your investments is able to take care of all your needs, and you still have more. But when you enter financial freedom, all your income from assets and investment can take care of your needs and the needs of everybody that needs help from you, and you still have more. I hope you know there are people that have set up foundations because they are extremely rich. They set up a foundation, and in the foundation they have employed 100 people to come and help them share their money. Do you know that kind of wealth? When you set up a foundation, do you know there are people working for foundations right now, and they are high net worth individuals. The money that the foundation is paying them, they have official car, official accommodation, they travel around the world on the foundation, owned by another human being. Abba. Abba. You that you are working for a foundation, you are a big boy. So what now? So that means the foundation is safe. Employ 100 people. So when you hear of Ford Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, Bill Gates Foundation, you are wondering, these guys have money. Dangote Foundation. These are individuals. Dan Juma Foundation. These are individuals that have foundation. And in the foundation, they have employed hundreds of people that they are paying every month. And the job of the people is, How do we share this money? Where do we share this money? That's financial freedom. Hello? So every time, and that's where God wants to operate. So every time there is a need in church and you are arguing about tithe and offering, I just say that you guys are still, you are in the elementary school. Tithe and offering, you are arguing over 10%, arguing about first fruit. This pastor after our money. It's poor people that talk like that. You won't see rich people in that kind of engagement because they know that you can never become wealthy without generosity. Every rich man knows. Look, I believe there are many of you in the corporate world. How much is tax? Your tax alone is 30 to 40%. Capital gains tax is 40%. So are you sure you are not stupid that you are arguing about 10%? It shows you are going to end up poor because even the government requires 40%. You want to be, when you become rich, your tax will be 40% and you are arguing about 10. Are you seeing that something is wrong with you? 10%, what is 10%? When your tax is 40. Hello? That's why many of you cannot be rich because you will end up in jail. Yeah, because by the time you have the money in, you that are fighting tithe, 10%, you will fight government and say, I'm not paying. Then they will arrest you for tax evasion and you end up in jail. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So begin to think. If tax is 40, tithe is 10, you see that 50 is already gone. So start having prosperity mindsets. So now that we understand this, let's now go to facts about wealth creation, because I just want to build. What are facts that you need to know about wealth creation that will help you as an individual? Facts about wealth creation. Facts about wealth creation. Number one, there is a wealthy place. Let me see if I can give you like, well, maybe 6 or 7. Number one, there is a wealthy place. What does that mean? You see, when we talk about wealth, please note this. Don't ever fall into the trap of scarcity. Where somebody, scarcity mentality is a scam. And we hear those things being said over and over again. And many times we don't examine things that we hear. We just listen to them, especially when we are working based on religious software. Anybody can just wear suit and tie, say something behind the pulpit, you just believe, instead of going to do the work of thinking. So when you are doing your, in the first degree, we get BSc and all the stuff, most of the time you are certified for believing what you are taught. And if you are able to accurately agree with your lecturer, they agree with you too and they pass you. Now, but by the time you are doing masters, we are questioning everything we're taught. That's what master's degree is all about. Nobody is teaching you anything in master. They are questioning, okay, this has been said. Do you think it's true? We begin to look at case studies. This is this still true? And then, so that at that level, by the time you go for masters and return, your thinking will begin to change. You begin to question things. But by the time you now go to do PhD, you realize that we'll now begin to tell you what you should be thinking. Because a PhD, now we are talking of the future. Okay, look, the fact that something is working now does not mean we must wait for it to stop working before we find out the alternative. Can't we do it better, faster? That's what PhD begins to do. Begin to open the next portal. And that's how nations and places have developed. So please think about this. When you say there is no money, think about it. You will realize that you are lying. That's not an accurate statement. When you say there is no money, what do you mean by there is no money? Now, all the money in the world is still in the world. Think of it. Money did not travel. Alien did not take it away. So when you say there is no money, you are lying. What you should say is you don't have money. Not that there is no money in this country. There's no money in this country. You are a liar. There is so much money. Think of it. Do you see how much money your politicians in Ghana have been stealing since? And do you see that the stealing of Ghana now is trying to compete with Nigeria? You are entering billions now. You that don't have the heart of stealing before. Now you steal. Even Nigeria is afraid now that these guys are trying to catch up with us. They want to take our medal. And your people are now stealing in dollars with full bold face, and they will still come to television and be bragging about stealing, and they should be in jail, and they are the big boys of the society. Hello? And look at the way economy is collapsing everywhere. Because one thing you will see with Africa is that we love employing old people as our presidents. No, think about it. Look at Nigeria. Look at Ghana. The very minute we say it's old people we want, then we went back to old school thinking. How do you employ an old man as your president and you want to enter a young future? They can't lead you into a future that they will not be there. These guys are analog in a digital age. That's the problem with many African nations. You see a lot of all these old people, and then when they get there, they don't want to live again. Hello? Let me say, even America, when they started employing old people, look at what America is going through now. Donald Trump, you know he's a old man. Joe Biden, old. Trump is trying to come out old. What is wrong with us that we are looking for old people? A continent, Africa is the youngest continent. I hope you know. About 75% of people in Africa are below the age of 35. Yet, we are employing old people that are, you see that we are looking for father figure. or we are looking for leaders. Hello? So number one, there is a wealthy place. Don't let anybody deceive you. There is no money in this country. There is no money. It's a lie. There is money. You don't have it, but there is money. The money is there. It's in somebody's hand. Look, let me ask you a question. Look at me. I just like, we are business. Let's think. Every year, your nation declares budgets. Every year. Billions. And at the end of the year, they will tell you they have done supplementary budgets. They have added to it. So it means that that money actually came into the system. How many came to you? And you say there's no money. So in a year, they will declare billions. This sector, that sector. The way you should be thinking is, okay, once they declare budget, you now sit down. What is my portion in that budget? How much of that budget should come into my company and into my life? What products can I offer? What service can I offer? What sector has there been budgeted for? That's how you operate. So people wonder, say, how do you look? As a pastor, I do it. When I sit down, I'm looking for part of the budget that concerns me. Because they don't budget for religious duties in my country. And I'm a pastor, so I know that there is no money in that one for me. So I'm not going to be looking to, when I say, okay, they say they are going to be training the workforce, I say, training. So I say, okay, what are the training that they need? So we start writing proposal. We can train you with capacity building training, cost reduction, and therefore you know it. And then in your packaging of training, you have to be psychological. So you have to be able to also put something there that will attract their ego and attract their lust for, I shouldn't be telling you this. Have you noticed that most training in Africa does not take place in Africa? Because if you do it in Africa, they won't make money. So I will now write a proposal and say, we're going to train you people in Qatar. 3 days executive training. All the people will take you to Dubai, will take you to Rwanda, so that they will collect Esther code. They will collect travel allowance. Because they know that, this guy is going to train us in London. It's good. What training am I doing in London I can't do in Nigeria? But it's because I have to put something there for you to sign so that we can collect our portion. The children of this world are wiser in their own thing. Hello? So number one, there is what? There is a wealthy place. Number two, there is a path that leads to the wealthy place. There is a path that leads to the wealthy place. Number one, there is a wealthy place. Number two, there is a path that leads to the wealthy place. We're all here today now. The only reason we're all here is because we knew this address. And we decided to be here. But we did not all come from the same house. And we did not all come the same way. Some of you trekked down here because your house is not too far. Some of you took the cab. Some of you drove down. I flew down. But we're all here now. So this place exists. But the path that brought us here is diverse. So if you want to go to the wealthy place, there are pathways to wealth. Hello? There are paths that leads to the wealthy place. Your path is not my path. The problem is we keep comparing ourselves with other people, trying to do what other people are doing. No. The Bible says measuring themselves with themselves, comparing themselves with themselves, they are not wise. There's a principle in marketing or in the marketplace called the copycat principle. And now the copycat principle states that anytime you pioneer something, within 6 months, other people will copy you. So if you want to be ahead of the market, Anytime you are pioneering something, factor in the copycats in whatever you are doing. To say, okay, this thing we are starting now, in the next 3 to 6 months, people will start copying on. So whatever you want to do, you must have 3 to 4 layers of evolution ready. So that as you are doing the first one, as they are trying to copy you, you release level 2. Before they get to level 2, you release 3 and 4. By the time you are faster than they can catch up, they will now come to submit to you as an authority in the market. Hello? And you know why that happens? That happens because there are people that have money without idea. So they're always waiting for ideas to use their money to capture. You can start something small, and in less than 1 year, they will hedge you out of the market. Because somebody else has money that doesn't have idea. When they say, this is true, I can do this, they will now bring 50 times of the money you started with into the same sector, and you begin to, people will not even believe you are the one that started it. Hello? So there is a path that leads to the wealthy place. So everybody must therefore now find out, what is my own path to the wealthy place? So when I talk to people, I do series of master classes every year in our business school. And this year we've done School of Money master class. I think 30, part 1 to 30. We just graduated last week. Now listen, and one of the things I shared with them is how not to make money. You don't make money by marriage. I hope you know that right now we have a lot of women, all they are looking for is to marry a rich man. And they're all over social media now. Me, I can't marry a man that doesn't have money. A man, I can't come and suffer. So question, is it the one that gave birth to you? You can't come and suffer. Why can't you work and take care of yourself? Marriage is not economic empowerment. Wealth is not sexually transmitted. Hello? So what your father could not do, your mother could not do, you are now looking for one man to come and carry you, so you are a liability. Say, no, what are you bringing to the table? No, I'm the table. Okay, chop yourself. Say, you are table. I'm the table. And that's what we are seeing right now. So the pathway to wealth is not marriage. Hello? The pathway to wealth is not inheritance. That's why there's so much abuse in Africa. Because when you are bringing nothing to the table, the guy can abuse you and mess you up. And after messing up your life with 3 children, you will still say, pack out of this house, pack out. Can you tell a woman to pack out that built the house? Hello? A man will always say, I will tell you, pack out of this house, pack out. And then one day, he came back, and the house was empty. The woman has packed out with everything she came with. And the guy now realized that he had nothing but his noise. Pack out. Hello? So you don't make money by what? By marriage. You don't make money by inheritance, waiting for your father to die for you to inherit. No, these are the realities. That's not a pathway. But there are a lot of jobless people now that are hungry that their fathers have refused to die. When will this man die? When will this man die? When will this man die? And don't forget, you are young today, you'll be old tomorrow. And what you sow is what you will reap. So there is a pathway. So you need to find your pathway. And like I've said, like we'll also see again, there are 3 portals of wealth creation. You can either do it through the entrepreneurial portal, intrapreneurial portal, or through the investment portal. So find out what is your own path to enter into that wealthy place. Number 3, wealth is created. Wealth is created. Wealth is created. In the world that we live in today, please listen. Nobody just wakes up and discovers that they are wealthy. Someone must take responsibility for the creation of wealth. Whether in an individual life, in a family, in another, someone must take responsibility for the creation of wealth. Have you noticed, listen to this, have you noticed that when people begin to make money, you start hearing, let us investigate the source of their money. Have you ever heard anybody say, let's investigate the source of their poverty? No, nobody will investigate the source of your poverty. That's your responsibility. It is your responsibility to sit down and ask yourself, why was my grandfather poor? Why was my father poor? Why am I poor? Why is it that in this world, all of us were born together? My father keeps talking about his friends that are rich. Why was he not rich like them? Why was my grandfather not rich? It's your job to investigate it. Because if you don't do that thinking, you will not know. You see, when we refuse to learn from history will repeat itself. So when you sit down and ask yourself, investigate, why are we poor in our family? That's how you are going to change the story. Because I don't understand. You went to school, now you have graduated, you are looking for a good job. Please, who should create the good job and employ you? If it was easy to start a business, why did your father not start one? Why did you? No, these are reality. Why didn't they start one? There are people whose parents started business. When they graduated like you, they are not looking for a job. They just resume in their father's company. Because if you don't do what I'm telling you to do now, history will repeat itself. Listen, are you ready? I hope you know that you are an ancestor already. You are an ancestor. So all those generational curses you people are breaking. Oh Lord. I just laugh with all this religious nonsense that we do. Listen, where your ancestors has failed you, you cannot afford to fail your descendants. Because you are also an ancestor. Think about it. Many of you sitting down here right now, in another 50 years, in another 70 years, you'll be gone. Now think of it. I've been in church now 38 years. My first child is a girl. She's 26. My second child is 24. The last one is 11. So please ask me. So I was already a pastor when I gave birth to my children. So are you telling me now that after 38 years in church, my children should be breaking the altar of their father's house? Am I not the altar? No, because you see, so when you are praying all this useless prayer, you need to think where. So now, you mean now that after 38 years, there is still an altar? My children too should be saying, every evil of my father's house. I am the father. And there is no evil. So they are supposed to be talking of generational blessings. But why are they not talking of generational blessings? Because we don't understand that wealth is created. So we keep waiting that maybe one day somebody will lay hands on us and we'll just become rich and wealthy. And you have been waiting. So instead of you to begin to take intentional, practical steps to change your life, you are waiting for one supernatural oil that will just come upon you. And especially, you Ghanaians, you are even more terrible than Nigerians with the prophetic. When you go to Kumasi Mountain, Bogatanga Valley, Shai, you go and collect all these strange powers, and everybody is a prophet here. Calling phone number. Your name is John. Are you so stupid you don't know your name? Your name is John. Yes, Papa. Yes, Papa. Prophesy, Papa. So you don't know your name. Eh? You are from Takoradi. Yes, yes. So you don't know where you came from. That's the revelation. And that's the useless thing that you are doing here now. So you people gather in a church for 4 hours. All they are doing is on row to row. Yeah, stand up. Your name is and 4 hours. You say, I was church today. Powerful. 10 years later, you are still poor. You know why? Prophecies can never change your life until you apply principles. Prophecies are fulfilled by principles. So if I prophesy now, your name is Jane. Yes. You are the third born. Oh, Baba, prophesy, Papa, preach. Everybody's shaking. See, I'm seeing May 11. Yes, that's my birthday. All those are accurate. And the person now tells you, I see twins. By this time next year, you're going to have twins. Everybody shouts amen. You see, after the prophecy, you will now go back to the principles. What are the principles? You need to have a husband or a wife. Principle of marriage. Then you need to have sex with your partner. Principle of sex. These are principles that prophecy cannot change. That prophecy cannot make you pregnant without sex. So you have to go back to principle. So now, they say you will have twins. You are fighting with your husband. They say you will have twins. Your husband comes home. Honey, don't touch me. Don't touch me. You see that? You are now stupid. Are you seeing the stupidity of this thing now? Now, they say you will have twins. Every ovulation period, the 5 days of ovulation, you and your husband will fight. When the ovulation is now over, come and touch me now. Oh yeah, let's do it. I'm ready now. You are stupid. You are stupid. You don't understand the principle of recreation and progression. You're just a religious bigot. Hello? These are the things that are making them to insult you because people just don't use their brain. When you are looking for a baby, even when you are fighting, you will have sex because the devil must be put to shame. So, only I'm ovulating. Oh, yeah, how are you? I love you. He said, yeah, I'm still angry with you, but let's finish this one first. We'll continue fighting later. Hello? So, what am I saying? Wealth is what? Created. Someone must take responsibility. And you must be that person to say, in my family, I'm sick and tired of poverty. This poverty must end with me. And then you begin to do what needs to be done. Or else it will continue. Because think about it. Look, I don't know about you, but... And that's why the next generation is no more falling for all this deception. You see a lot of younger people now, the Gen Z, these guys are looking for supernatural power. They are looking for the reality of God. Many of them are trying magic, trying spiritualism, because they are tired of all this church, all this prayer when they pray, they walk. So we have been praying since, every time fasting, 10 days, 7 days, 21 days, 51 days. So when will the thing be answered? Hello? Number 4. Wealth creation takes time. Wealth creation takes time. Wealth creation takes time. One of the challenges of our world today again is what we call the get rich quick scheme. People want to blow. In this kingdom, we don't blow, we grow. If you blow up, you scatter, you disintegrate. Bombs blow, balloons blow. But in this kingdom, people don't blow, they grow. If you jump up, you will come down. If you grow up, you will stay up. So avoid get rich quick scheme. Have you noticed that all the schemes that people have complained about that has made people to lose money is always schemes that are speculation. Schemes that are, forex, crypto, one scheme, put money there, you will get this one. How many people have you heard that said they bought land, built a house, and the scheme failed? The real one that are evergreen, that has not failed, you won't touch it. They have been selling land before your great-grandfather was born. You didn't buy. But when you heard that there's one forest, you now go into forex and end up in the forest of poverty. You say, oh, this one is crypto. Now they kryptonize your life. And you are now experiencing krypton. And you are wondering, what is this? Man of God is so bad that even now, people are now into what they call betting. It's heavy spiritual thing now. Even churches are carrying offering to go and bet. Pastors, yeah, pastors are betting now. I don't know whether you have that in Ghana here. In Nigeria, Cameroon, South Africa, they are betting houses with computers. Everybody will be betting. These things have been there since we were young. It used to be pool. They call it pool. They'll be using biro to write, red biro, green. Now they have made it electronic. And people are betting with their school fees. Betting with their house rent. Hello? I host pastors' conferences. And I'm ashamed to say that pastors will be asking questions. Sir, is it wrong to bet? Pastors. Because they're already doing it. Because they don't have faith in God anymore, but they have faith in the... Hello? So wealth creation does what? It takes time. It takes time. Please listen. Those of us that you see that are wealthy today, we didn't fall down from heaven. Hello? And we did not become wealthy one day. It took time. Precept upon precept, line upon line. A little here, a little there. You save here, you invest here, you do this one. And over time, because true wealth takes time to be built. True wealth takes time to be built. I have properties all over the world. And I mean literally different parts of the world. So because I'm here now, let me talk about this country. I have properties in this country. And when I wanted to start buying properties in this country, I had been talking to people about real estate. And I kept saying to them, a city today was a village yesterday. A village today will be a city tomorrow. And then Ghana discovered oil. And they started talking of oil. So I said, Ghana, now that they have discovered oil, what are all the different locations close to where they have discovered oil? What are all the locations close to all the plans for the future? But people kept wondering. So I called my guys. I said, look, start investigating for me. What are the developmental plan that they have for Accra, for Volta region, for different regions? And I started sharing these things with people when I come, saying, go to Dodua, go to Pram Pram, go to Shah Hills, go to Kasua, go to Abigail. They will just be wondering, they will be laughing. How does he know all these places? It's because I'm investigating. Hello? And then while I was doing that, I was gathering money. Then, bam, I started buying. I bought a property in Kasua years ago. I have a house there. I'm building a shopping complex there now. I'm going to be building houses and all that stuff. Now, when I bought that property, when we went there, my former PA was with me when we went. We kept going into the bush. And at the point, the guy was saying, sir, we continue this journey. Do you know these people very well? I said, well, relax, this is my job. Forget pastor. I carry glory. Maybe let's go. So they say it's from here to there, to there, to there. I paid. When we got into the car, I said, sir, we give them cash. You should have done transfer. So that I said, don't worry, this is my job. Do you know what? When we bought that property, in less than 1 year, they did the Obum Road. They started opening the road. Before you know it, the bridge, you know there's Kasua Bridge now. That bridge is just a new bridge. There was no bridge, there was nothing. Nothing. Then before you know it, they started doing bridge. Before you know it, so when I came about 2 years later with the same PA, he said, sir, sorry, I want to ask a question. He said, did you know they were going to do the road? I said, no. Did you know they were going to do the bridge? I said, no. He said, but this place is now, if I can't even recognize it. I said, so let me tell you something. I said, when you are a Christian, there are different laws that work. I said, there's a law of knowledge and there's a law of favor. I said, the law of knowledge is you need to know that every bush today is only a matter of time. It will become a city. So you don't wait to buy land. You buy land and you wait. I said, that is the law of knowledge. I said, but there is a law of favor. I said, when I came here, they offered me 3 land. They offered me Kasua, Shai Hills, and Dodua. But in my spirit, Kasua resonated. I obeyed the spirit and I came and God favored me. I said, I did not know, but God knew. So when you are a tither and you are committed to God, the Spirit of God will lead you. Because there is a spirit in man and the inspiration of the Lord gives them understanding. And so that's the law of favor. God will now favor you to be positioned in a place that is about to blow. And then people will now think that, I said, the way you are thinking now, people will now think that, this man, God must have spoken to him. Hello? Then before you know it, we started getting calls. Banks were calling me. Because my house is now on the road, on the express road, right on the road. Then now I said, no, it's not there. Can we rent it? I say, it's not for rent. Can we lease? They want to lease the land and build on. I say, it's not for rent. It's not for lease. Don't even call us again. Now I'm building shopping complex there. So one day you see the shopping complex. This man. Why? Because that's the way it works. So wealth creation takes time. Imagine that since you started working 15 years ago, you have been buying just 1 plot every year. Just 1 plot every year in all those different locations. By now, you won't be where you are. But you've been buying shoes every year, buying wigs every year, buying bags every year, changing your phone every year. Finally, let me give you one more. We'll continue.